That's true, isn't it, Janice?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Michael, you've worked
Yeah,
with
it's been a pleasure working with you, Janice, and you've done an excellent job, and we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
It's been 16 years, so appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your next adventures.
Thank you.
I was at the luncheon last week and told the story about my father-in-law and
Yeah.
how he thought
Bob.
the world of you and how you lightened and brightened everybody's day. And you do that to a lot of people.
Thank you
Certainly appreciate it.
very much.
Not an easy job and still keep
No,
that.
it's not an easy job. Nope.
Well, before she starts crying, we'll get a quick picture, right? So if you want to come up, gentlemen come up, Matt, if you want to come up and join us, we'll grab a quick picture and give you a nice plaque.
Right in the center, Jan.
Thanks.
You guys get in there and we'll get off.
Thank you.
It's really important.
It's been a job.
Thank you so much.
They're now a nervous wreck.
Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen. Kinda like a babysitting job.
Yeah.
Kinda like a babysitting job. What?
Yeah.
Thank you, we
I
appreciate
don't
it.
think it's done yet.
I don't have anything today.
Okay. Yeah, we do. We got the cell phone.
Janice, when you come in to help out and you're not really
Wonderful.
an employee,
Our next-
really say what you think.
Our next guest of honor, Judge Dean Sebecki. We have a plaque in recognition for him and just for the 24 years of service as a judge. And then, I don't know your background extremely well, but I believe you had a prosecutor perhaps before that. And you want to come up to the podium. But decades of service to Daviess County, and being an honorable judge obviously requires a lot of sacrifice and responsibility.
I was a chief deputy prosecutor for 4 years prior to coming on the bench. This is my 21st year as a judge, so it's 25 years of public service. So
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful, and obviously I've known you personally, and Brenda and the family, and just all you've done in Daviess County is outside of the courtroom. And it's been an honor to work with you, and just appreciate everything you've done.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's been a long trip, and luckily we get to do them one day at a time. I say some of those days last forever. The years go by pretty quick when you do that. There's been a lot of changes at the courthouse, not just the building project, which obviously we've worked very hard at getting done, but just laws change, challenges change. We faced the methamphetamine crisis decade and a half before Marion County did. My last conference as a prosecutor 22 years ago, headlines in the Indianapolis Star was the first meth lab found in Marion County. And we probably tried 20 cases by that time. The nice thing to see was how the community reacted to that, not just in official capacity, but all the non-governmental entities, from Fresh Start through the RARE program, all the different halfway houses that have come about, the community realizing that it's a problem that we all have to deal with. And I think our community has shown great compassion to people suffering from addiction issues and the people that suffer along with them, their families, their friends, their employers, their fellow employees. And that's a great credit to our community. Obviously, we've dealt with an influx of immigrants from all over the world, and we continue to do that. And that's been a challenge for our schools, for our courts, but we've continued to deal with those. And so it's been an interesting ride, and I was happy to be there to do it.
been a pleasure. Gentlemen?
Yeah. I've known you a short amount of time. I haven't known you forever, but it's been a pleasure working with you, and I've always enjoyed everything. We've had conversations in the past on the side, and you've got a lot of knowledge, that's for sure. And so it's going to be hard to lose you, but I understand time moves on, and time just do a different chapter in your life. Appreciate it, Dean.
Thank you.
When I see the judge on the street, I don't think about Judge Sabecki. I think about Dean the Hatchet. Did a very, very good job at the guard position. I've known him that long, so that's been a few years. And
He
certainly,
still had laces on the basketball.
and it's a gentleman in every sense of the word. And certainly appreciate what you've done for Daviess County and your profession, and will continue to do so.
Thank you.
Well, let's get a picture and present Dean with his plaque.
Recovery.
All right. No more retirements. Two is their max per year. All right. Okay. Next up, Chris, we'll go ahead and bring you back up and see if we have any bids on the old highway salt, or the old salt building. I believe the deadline was today. And then that sale will be contingent upon the new salt building being completed. No bids received. Okay, easy enough.
Easy
Well,
to
thanks,
say.
Chris.
Nope,
Interesting.
that's all I have.
Interesting. So what do we know? Okay, next up, we have, we did have a highway meeting this morning. All commissioners were present. Items discussed was just the year-end metrics. Year-end metrics in the salt building. All right. Next up, we got Rosetta Newton on the CSI contract.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yep. Yep.
Good morning. There's 3 of the summaries, the contract summaries that I had sent out for the CSI software for the annual, yearly, what we have to sign and send in. So there's not been any changes other than, there has been a price increase, but there wasn't one for 5 years. So we were expecting that there was one gonna be coming. This will be paid out of the Recorder's Perpetuation Fund, so.
Okay. Gentlemen, are there any questions?
I have no
Take
questions.
these one at a time here. Okay, I've got before us the contract for the CSI computer systems. If there was no other questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion made by Commissioner Taylor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arnold. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
A motion passes 3-0. All right,
Thank you very much.
thank you. And
There's 3 of them.
there's 3 total, so I'll amend that motion to include all 3 with the microfilm and disaster recovery as
Right.
well.
So moved.
Can say, motion made by Commissioner Taylor.
Second.
By Commissioner Arnold, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Take care. Okay. Okay, next up, got the solar ordinance. I believe it's Sarah and Sean, whoever wants to come up to the podium. This has been reviewed by the APC, or created by the APC board. had public hearing, and today is the adoption. The commissioners feel so inclined.
Yeah, the APC board certified this to this body in accordance with the statutes that come into play on this. There was a change that Chris Winkler mentioned that I thought was helpful, which just reflects that any permits are to run through him. There is a reference to a road use agreement on page 5, which obviously is important to the highway department. We've had some challenges with other solar projects that took place under the authority of the city. But if we have one that's in the county, which this regulates the unincorporated areas of Daviess County where many of these projects are going to take place. So I think this is a good draft, and turn it over to you.
Yeah.
It's a long process to get everything put together on the ordinance and with the changes we went through. And I want to recognize Sarah. She's been probably 90% of the ordinance. Very educated in solar, which I am not, with background with zoning and her background in solar. I think we got a pretty good ordinance put together that's going to protect the community.
Good.
I think the goal was to look at what other folks have done, what we had when I came in, and learned from other communities. Consulted with some other communities, seeing what they would have put in had they had a chance to do it again. And then we also have a land use team at Purdue. They were very helpful in guiding some of the, what I would call slight alterations of what we had originally. I think it's been combed through pretty well.
Yes.
We do have a public hearing that's set for this time and date, so we can go ahead and open it up if there's any public comment. If there's not, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Anything else from you guys?
Great. Commissioners, any questions?
It's been a long time coming. We need to get this done. It's been
Yeah.
probably a year and a half, 2-year process, but I think we're finally there, and I appreciate all the time and effort that everybody's put into it, especially Sarah and Sean. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a lot of work indeed, and I think we have an excellent starting point on this ordinance, and then once we run a few developments through it, we'll flesh out, because we want to protect the existing landowner, and then we want to minimize any impediment to development that we can, and just have that balance. So we'll take a couple to run through, and we'll tweak it, and we're here. Commissioners are here to make any adjustments the EPC feels we need to make. At least consider them. So. Awesome. Ron, any comments?
No.
If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the solar energy zoning ordinance.
So moved.
A motion made by Commissioner Taylor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arnold. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0. Thanks, everyone. Next up is the YMCA discount agreement. We received a notification for the Y. I think we have a similar one for Anytime Fitness.
Right.
But basically, the employees and their families of the county can receive a 10% discount by showing proof of employment, basically, whenever they join the Y. So it's just basically their effort to expand their base and offer services at a lower cost. So
I don't have any issue with it.
there's no commitment from the county.
There's no commitment to the county. They just wanted a bonding agreement stating that that's in place. And they said typically an ID card or something like that, which the auditor's office has inherited that equipment. So if someone's needing an ID card with with their face and a card that shows that they're an employee, we can get that made for them.
Okay, great. If there's no other questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion made by Commissioner Taylor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arnold. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
A motion passes 3-0. All right, next up, we got the interlocal with the Daviess Soil and Water. SOA.
So they're not here. She's presented a number of times in the past. This looks to be already executed by the Soil and Water Board. The one thing that I would ask to include, this makes reference to their minutes from November 13th, 2023. For the record, just stick their minutes into this because it makes reference to it in the document.
So basically, council has, she has went before council and they have received some funding, grant funding, and they're wanting to make their part-time position a full-time position. So with their grant funding and their department's funding, they're gonna make up the difference of what the cost would be, so the county doesn't endure extra cost. However, the county does have to 100% front it up front, and so this interlocal agreement is them reimbursing the county for their portion for that position.
I didn't realize it was like that. What fund is that coming out of then?
It's in their department.
Out of there, okay.
It'll come out of county general at first, and then it'll get, out of their department's budget without a county general. They have their own working department out of there.
Just for 3 years and revisit
And then it
after
would be
3 years
revisited.
to
So
get
if
another
interlocal,
grant,
then,
yeah.
would be relooked at that time.
And I did spend some time with them 6 months ago when they were evaluating this, and we had a pretty good direct discussion on it. Anytime you increase someone's hours by 5 or 10 hours a week, and then you make them full-time, the ROI is a little salty, but they convinced the council and myself that this was the right approach, and I'm hoping that West Boggs can somehow, we have all these acronyms, every place, and hopefully, their sole purpose is for soil and water preservation in Daviess County, so hopefully they can assist the Boggs project as well, and we can tap into their expertise. So anyway, this has been approved by the council, 3 years worth, so if there's no questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion made by Commissioner Taylor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arnold. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next up, we got the Housing Rehab Project Release Lien. Looks like 9 East Flora Street. So that they did SIDC did a rehab
yeah.
project there. So if there's no questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion made by Commissioner Taylor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arnold. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion passes 3-0. Next up, we have the EMS support letter. So Michelle Carrico had called me, I think right before Thanksgiving. Well, no, it wasn't. Anyways, right before she needed it. She needed a support letter from the county in regards to the EMS building.
Yeah.
We had already approved the $200,000 grant, so I went ahead and drafted a letter and sent to her to send on. So this is just the official motion. It just simply says Daviess County is in support of building the base for them. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the support letter.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Taylor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arnold. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
My motion passes 3-0. All right, SIDC board appointment letter. This is to appoint Jen Welsh to the SIDC Board of Directors. Entertain a motion to approve before she changes her mind.
So moved.
A motion made by Commissioner Taylor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arnold. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
My motion passes 3-0. thanks again, Jen, for serving on that. All right, the annual appointments,
Have to slow down.
it's good leadership, right, Ron? Get you out of here. It doesn't matter how long the agenda is, it's how short the meeting is.
Want to finish by the end of the year.
Yeah, no kidding. So the annual appointments, Ron and I took those and called. I made a couple adjustments on mine. A couple of the names were no longer on some of the boards. Like Jim Brinson on the airport board, someone else has got his spot. And then Lauren Milton, we had to pull her off of the community corrections because it's has to be an educator. So they reached out to Superintendent Franks, yeah. So I have not heard word back, but everyone else I contacted and they were interested in serving again.
About the appointment with our county attorney, is there any potential conflict there to serve on that board?
With the Peterboa?
Yes.
I mean, yes, and I looked into it, so there,
Under what circumstances would that
if,
create a conflict?
and that's a council appointment. If it were strategy relative to something that's gonna be in front of the Peterboa, then obviously that would be related. But if it's simply, the reason that I wanted to do it is because I felt like it made sense for that particular board. There's gonna be a lot of appeals of property taxes, and it just needs to be done a certain way. Nexus represents them on strategy related to that, and there's potentially a conflict that
How often would that come up?
it will. I mean, I've never represented the Peterboa in the past. I've never talked with the assessor about strategy, so.
That's all I want to do is avoid any conflict. There's other people willing to serve, so.
No, I agree, Ron. I think having Grant on there would be great in case there is any action on the Peterboa board, which from my understanding, that board's not been used
For a while.
But there is a little bit of anxiety as far as the mass reassessments and the impact. And it may be all for nothing, but we'll see when the property tax statements start to hit.
And if it got to be a problem, then
We
we
can,
could always look at.
the council can pull him off, and, because we don't want to impede any of that stuff, so.
Yeah.
Awesome. Courthouse renovation update. So I've been talking with Jeremy and quite a bit over the past couple of weeks. So just a quick update on the windows. We had a conference call with Ashley at the DNR, or whatever division it is. Chippo, yeah. And I was able to actually patch in Coy and Jeff in real time to that call. So the big controversy right now is the putty line on the pane. They want it beveled, and even if it costs $200,000 more, and which a certain commissioner had a little bit of objection to that. So we think we found another window that from 10 feet proximity, the beveled putty line, it looks approximate to our current beveled putty line, because it's an important matter, because the shadow profile needs to be the same, or else it's not consistent with the historical theme currently.
Can urethane not be used in that place to take care of that?
We did not ask any of those types of questions. So the current covenant expires September 1st of '25.
Right.
The current project, if it goes according to timeline, will be done April 14th of '25. We have a 5-month window that once September 1st hits, the covenant's gone. So they've sent the window. She wants some more data points on the window. She'll be back in January. So we're evaluating the window. That will be $200,000 less. So that's the path that we're heading down now. So we hope that they will give some approval for that window. If not, then we'll discuss.
I think if it's just a shadow line, I'm saying if we can't, they won't approve anything without a shadow line, just the putty line. I don't know why you couldn't just take the windows that's $200,000 cheaper and run a urethane around there and call it good.
Yeah, they're thinking that there's some other things that we can do, and again, it's all from like a certain distance. So the vendor offered to put in a window for free, so that we can take some visuals and some pictures, so anyway, the point is, we're going down the $200,000 lower, and these are expensive windows.
You get enough of those mock-up windows, we'll have it done. We already got one.
I know. So, I mean, I say $200,000 less, but these are still very expensive windows. So that's the route we're going down, and then we're playing the September 1st and the completion date. So we'll keep you guys in the loop there. The wall is done downstairs. We had a $5,000 budget. I haven't got with Scott yet, but I mean, I think they built that wall for $1,500.
You got it done really timely fashion too.
And it's super like soundproof, just like a 6-inch double spaced for soundproofing. Buchanan's, I think's already been down there. If not, they'll be down here there in a week or so to fix the HVAC, so that'll be all ready. The last week of January is when the courts will move over. And I've been talking with Darren Lunsford a little bit, because that's our biggest opportunity to save some of the budgets, some of the office. We have $500,000 budget, so we're hoping to shave some off of that. So things are moving, still moving forward, and I know Dan's already moved some of his things over.
Some of that stuff that will be moved, it's got so much age on it, it may not survive a move back. So
Yes, that's right.
be an issue.
Yeah, and we've talked just roughly about just some of the ladder in the clerk's office, these little trinket things that, you don't want to throw away, and some of that stuff we'll figure out how people get it and who gets it, and the key thing is just not to throw it away, so that we get into the right. But still moving forward, the courthouse stuff, so.
We'll have rates back, I think January 5th is the date when we'll know what the best rate's gonna be. It'll be a collective decision on everything, as you guys are doing.
Yeah,
What is the tentative start date for the construction?
February 13th-ish is still the tentative start date. But then when I heard about the September 1st deadline,
You're just gonna push it more?
well, these projects like this will have their natural delays on their own.
They will.
They're gonna bust into a wall, something's going to happen.
We're gonna find a lot of hidden things once we open that building
So
up.
I think we'll get it, and hopefully we're right on time. But hopefully we get the window approved and we don't have to worry about that, so. But we're really fighting hard for that $200,000.
Savings, yeah.
Because it's still a $500,000-ish, $400,000-ish window, I mean, it's nice windows. Anything else? I know everyone's been kind of working on this. Everything going okay?
I think everything else is going okay. The basement's looking good, like you said. They were down there putting cubicles up the other day, so it's getting closer all the time.
Good.
So,
Okay.
looking good.
You need to bounce back to number 10. There, I don't think you guys,
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, the annual appointments, I'll bounce back to there. If there's no objection, we will go ahead and make a motion to reappoint the annual appointments.
Yep. I don't have any objection with it.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Taylor.
So moved, yep.
Second
Second.
by Commissioner Arnold. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Anything from the audience? Oh, all right, commissioners?
Information, not only for the audience, for my own purposes. In January, are we changing the time of the meeting start?
Yes.
Does that start in January?
Well, it's starting February. Yeah, it won't be technically in January,
Well,
because the courts won't be moved yet.
but how was it advertised, I guess, is what I'm asking.
we put out an annual,
All right, can we change those January dates back to the,
we can, I mean, you can,
just re-advertise?
usually we do it at the beginning of the year, but
Just re-advertise the January meeting,
Want to stay legal?
like $37, I'll pay for it.
even that,
Get
we
get-
do an
get
annual
that-
advertising.
Get that in the minutes, please.
Yeah, I will. That guy's brutal. I mean, I mean, because,
So it's still 9 o'clock for the first two meetings in
yeah,
January?
because I mean, because of, yeah.
Courts
no-
aren't moving yet, so
no one's
they're,
meeting yet.
So
Would that be okay? Could we do that?
You want to sleep in another hour, is that what it is?
Just, what?
With the extra hour of sleep, is that what it
It's,
is?
You want 8:15 or do you want 9?
I want 9 o'clock for January, because the only reason we're changing our times is
For the
because someone's
courts.
gonna be in here. If no one's gonna be in here, then let's just keep
Leave
it
at
the same time. Yeah. All right, thank you. You'll be my favorite auditor ever. Yes, okay with that?
I'm fine.
Your
Just tell
favorite
me when to
Davis
be here.
County auditor.
Fine, I know, I'm sure, I know, sure. All right, meeting's falling apart. Okay, if nothing else, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to approve payroll claims and to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
A motion made by Commissioner Taylor, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arnold, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Have a great week, everyone.